Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast, brought to you by DirecTV, 1-800-259-7646. Also brought to you by RVRealtor.com. If you're buying an RV or selling an RV, check out RVRealtor.com and the Dollar Shave Club. Here's John and Heidi.
Thank you so much for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Thursday. Hey, baby, how you doing?
Hey, super duper. How are you?
Good. Doing real good. I'm excited. Got a lot of fun stuff we're going to be talking about on the program today. And I feel a little more prepared than usual because I read through everything at least once.
Okay.
So, should be minimal stumbles today, I hope.
Okay.
Although,
we shall see.
I'm going to struggle with the name of a website because I've got an author I'm going to be chatting with, Bruce Blumer, super nice guy, and he's helping out with an island just off the coast of Haiti. It's all part of Haiti, and I think it's LaGonave, something like LaGonave, something like that. LaGonavealive.com. When I chat with them, I hope I'll get it right. But we're going to be talking with Bruce coming up later in the program. Super nice guy. Like I said, he's got a book out, and we'll be chatting all about that. And we'll make sure we get the website right, and we'll make sure that we get the name right before the interview is done, no matter what. Hey, a study from the National Institute of Health says women today take longer to give birth than they did just a half a century ago. Back then, it would take about, how many hours? Under 4 hours. Nowadays, it's taken over 6.5 hours. What's the deal with all of that? Babies are hanging on longer than they used to. Now it takes a little longer to get those kids out. So how long did you go into labor with our kiddos?
Troy was 8.5 hours.
Yikes. How about Taylor?
Well, she was cesarean.
15 minutes. We went to the drive-thru and they yanked her out on the way by. No, it wasn't quite like that. Anyway, coming up, we got a lot of special stuff to talk about. We'll be doing that in a bit on the John and Heidi Show.
This portion of the program is brought to you by Dollar Shave Club. Get razors for $1 a month plus a few bucks shipping, so you can enjoy fresh razors every month for as little as $3. Learn more at dollarshaveclub.com/radio.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
Thought you'd never ask. It is Thursday, the 7th day of January. Today is Harlem Globetrotters Day.
Ah.
That's cool.
Yeah,
I've had a chance to meet several of the Harlem Globetrotters. Nice
I
guys.
loved them on Scooby-Doo.
They always seem to win. Have you noticed this? I don't think the National Generals ever
And they don't get
win.
any credit for it.
I know. I mean, they should be
They're
playing
undefeated.
what is the Super Bowl for basketball? What do they call it? Playoffs? I don't know. It's probably not a Super Bowl. The Super Bowl of basketball? I don't think that's... Whatever it is, they should be in it. Hey, Orthodox Christmas is today as well. It's also National I'm Not Going to Take It Anymore Day. So whatever it is you're taking, don't take it anymore. It's International Programmers Day today, and it's National Bobblehead Day and National Tempura Day. So all of those things, get out there and celebrate with a bobblehead of a Harlem Globetrotter. See? See what I did there? Coming up, we've got a really interesting story, but you'll know it's true because you're going to hear it on the radio.
This portion of the program is brought to you by RVRealtor.com. If you want to buy or sell an RV, go to RVRealtor.com. List your RV for free. Learn more at RVRealtor.com.
You know it's true because you heard it on the radio. Yes, dear. You think you have a bossy wife? Wait till you hear about this one. A group of men in New Delhi, India. You know where New Delhi is?
India.
Yeah, and it's right by Old Delhi, but it's the New Delhi. No, it's not by Old Delhi. I don't think there is an Old Delhi. Anyway, New Delhi, India, a group of men there met to discuss the fact that their bossy wives were turning them into a bunch of wimps. Guess what happened?
What?
The meeting was broke up when the wives showed up.
Get home.
Pelted them with rotten tomatoes and told them to come home.
Holy cow.
Yeah. So that's what happens in New Delhi, India. So if you think you got a bossy wife, apparently you're pretty lucky compared to these guys. I think it's really funny. There are times where people might think you're kind of a bossy wife for me. One of the favorite stories ever. My daughter, you know where I'm going with this, don't you?
Yeah.
Should I let you tell the story?
No, go ahead.
I was home one night and we were having dinner, and my son was kind of trying to lead the conversation, and she said, "Hey, Troy, you're not in charge. You act like you're in charge. You know, like Dad is when Mom's not home," or something. Is that what she said?
Quit acting like the man of the house, like Dad does when Mom's not home.
Here we go. See? I know you do.
It's my favorite quote.
Quit acting like the man of the house, like Dad does when Mom's not home. Thanks, Taylor. Anyway, I think that's still better.
I thought you were going to tell the story when we were at the grocery store.
What was that story?
And you were trying to pick up.
Oh.
You were trying to buy
Brisket,
which makes you sick every time.
I get sick from brisket, but I love it.
The night before, he had literally just said, I'm never, ever going to buy brisket again because it makes me so sick. And we come walking to the grocery store. It's Taylor and John and I. And we're walking by right in the front. There's this brisket on sale. And John's like, hey. And he reaches down and picks one up. And I was already 20 steps away from him. And I turned around and yelled, no.
Everybody
put it down.
In every checkout lane,
and
look.
Everybody looks.
I set the brisket down and walk away like, ooh, okay.
But it's only because it makes you sick.
Sure.
And you literally just said, I'm never ever buying this again.
Thank you for calling the police and trying to get me the help.
The poor man who's battered.
Mm-hmm. All right. Anyway, this whole New Delhi thing, they got bossy wives, and you know it's true because you heard it on the radio.
The John and Heidi Show is brought to you in part by the Keystone Treatment Center.
This is your brain, and this is your brain on drugs. We share silly stories here on the program, but addiction is no joke. If you or someone you know suffers with an addiction to drugs or alcohol, make today the day you seek help.
Call toll-free 844-204-1055.
That's a toll-free number. Again?
844-204-1055.
And this is your brain on drugs. A 34-year-old Albany roofer named Joe Amash was quickly indicted on criminal charges of possession of stolen property and larceny, petty larceny. So what, you might be saying? Lots of people get that all the time. What makes him so special? Why is he on here? Well, was it because he had allegedly stolen a debit card to buy $500 worth of groceries at the Price Chopper? Yeah, that's part of it. Was it because he was using his own Advantage card to get deeper discounts? So he was using his own card to get discounts too. Like his discount card with his name on it. Yeah, that's another reason. How about the fact that he got caught on the store's videotape arguing with the clerk about being overcharged? Yeah, that's part of it. And it might have also been his alibi that he got the stolen bank card in a trade with are you ready for this? A one-legged man in a bar for a bag of illegal drugs.
Oh my God.
That's why he ended up here. That was his story to the police. I traded a guy some drugs for this card.
A one-legged man.
I didn't steal it. It was a one-legged man in the bar that I got this from.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, that's why he ended up in this little section. And you know your brain is on drugs.
This portion of the program is brought to you by Keystone Treatment Center. Addiction is no laughing matter. Call Keystone Treatment Center toll-free at 1-844-204-1055.
A man who reportedly told police he was trying to deter a friend from driving drunk by blasting his windshield with paintballs wound up in jail.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah. Police sergeant in Kennewick, Washington said, this is a very creative way to prevent somebody from drinking and driving, but it's still not legal or safe. Responding to nearby residents' reports of a man shooting at a car, police found a 41-year-old, and he explained why he was shooting paintballs at the car. Tri-City Herald reported the man was arrested and booked into the Benton County Jail for investigation of unlawfully discharging a weapon and an unrelated misdemeanor warrant. He suggested a designated driver would have been a much better approach.
Wow.
That is one way to get your drunk friend to not drive. Shoot his car with a paintball gun. Not necessarily a good way, as we've just learned, but it's one way. Coming up, we've got your Scoop of the Day, and that is on the way on the John and Heidi Show.
The Scoop of the Day is brought to you by Wells Blue Bunny. If you want delicious ice cream, be sure to look for the Blue Bunny. Sure to have your favorite flavors. Learn more at bluebunny.com.
Now, your Scoop of the Day. Walmart plans on using drones for home delivery. They're going to start using them in certain markets to see how that goes. Can I maybe predetermine in my mind what I think is going to happen? It's not going to go well. I don't think it's going to work.
Well, Amazon's already been doing it.
I don't think it's a good idea. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff they need to work out before they can start droning stuff. Hey, a Catholic priest in the Philippines has been suspended. You know why?
Why?
He was riding a hoverboard during Christmas Eve Mass. A video showed the priest gliding up and down the church's aisles on an electric scooter while singing a Christmas song.
Oh, I think that's
some members
kind of fun.
Of the very surprised congregation applauded, and others were not too thrilled, and he's been suspended. Many of us, especially after washing down the last of our holiday sugar cookies with another cup of eggnog, resolved to revamp our exercise routines in the new year. Unfortunately, Many plans fall through right away. A year-long study of 3,000 people with New Year's resolutions found that 12% is the number of people who actually reach their goal. Researchers do speculate, though, that any given exercise routine may be easier easier to stick to if it fits your personality. So that's why my exercise routine, it fits my personality. It's called not having an exercise routine. Fits it really well. Hey, what do you do first thing in the morning, Heidi? What's the first thing you do when you wake up?
Check my phone.
That's what more and more women are saying. Before they even get out of bed, they're looking at Facebook.
Yep.
A third of young American women check Facebook before brushing their teeth or even using the restroom. It's the new morning routine, according to a survey done by Oxygen Media. Research reveals women age 18 to 34 are becoming increasingly more addicted and dependent upon technology and social sites. 1 in 5 said they even wake up in the middle of the night to respond to a post or a tweet, while 37% have fallen asleep with their phones in their hands. They'll wake up in the morning going, oh, hey, I was still holding my phone when I woke up. That's kind of crazy. Hey, this is interesting. There are now, in the United States, more payday loan stores than there are McDonald's locations. Yeah, that's a sign of the times right there.
Yeah.
A Michigan woman ran into all kinds of problems recently while attempting to rip off a Family Dollar store. You like Family Dollar stores, don't you? Is that the one that you like?
Not Family Dollar.
What's the one
Dollar
you like?
Tree.
Dollar Tree. Okay, well, never mind then. She was trying to rip off this one. Apparently, the woman swiped an anti-theft alarm as she fled the store. She was being chased in the parking lot. In the middle of the pursuit, she dropped her purse, but she did get away until she called the police to claim that her bag had been stolen.
Oh, my gosh.
She told them, well, I lost it somewhere down by the Family Dollar store. And they said, hey, come on in. Stop by the station and pick it up. It's here. When she did, of course, she was arrested. What did she think was going to happen?
What was she trying to steal?
I
Nothing in Family Dollar is worth going to jail
Isn't
for.
it just, that's worth $1, isn't it?
No.
Or there's some that's worth more than $1?
Yeah, Family Dollar is...
It's not $1 for everything?
No,
okay.
no.
See, I don't know how this stuff works. To me, if your name has dollar store in it, everything should be
I agree.
You know, I never understood that. There's several stores that have the name Dollar, like they're Dollar General, Dollar...
Yeah, there should be an
Family?
S behind it if it's going to be more than one. Dollars General.
Multiple dollars store. I don't know. They
Family
don't have
Dollars.
those. Hey, are you ready for your strange law?
Sure.
In Scotland, it is illegal to be a drunk in possession of a cow. So, in other words, everybody in Scotland cannot own a cow. Wait a minute. No, the Scottish people aren't all drunk, are they? That's the Irish. I was thinking of your family. You guys, is it Irish? What are you guys, Irish?
We're Irish.
Yeah, well, there you go. That's my attempt at humor backfiring once again. And if you're Irish, I need you to know I was just kidding. I was teasing. Sorry if I hurt your feelings. But again, in Scotland, it is illegal to be drunk and in possession of a cow. Coming your way in a bit, we've got a special guest going to be visiting here with an author of a book. If you decide you want to purchase the book, you're going to be helping a nonprofit. And Bruce Blumer is on the way in just a bit. We'll tell you about the book and the nonprofit on the way in a bit.
This portion of the program is brought to you by RoughToughKennels.com. Dog kennels and accessories sent to your front door wherever you live. Your dog deserves it. Learn more at RoughToughKennels.com.
Thank you so much for listening to the John and Heidi Show. I got a special guest online with me here. I have Bruce Blumer. And Bruce, in addition to having a really cool nonprofit organization, he's also the author of a book called Parsonage Parables, and this stuff all kind of goes together. Bruce, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great, thank you.
Now, I'm going to hopefully say this correct. Is it LaGonave? Am I saying that now?
That's right, LaGonave.
He's only told me about a dozen times.
You got it.
I tried. LaGonave, and that is a place. LaGonave is near Haiti, correct?
It's actually part of Haiti. It's a little island that sits out in the ocean, and so it's about 30 to 40 miles away from Port-au-Prince, kind of in that Bay Area, but it's an island that actually sits out in the ocean, and so while it's a part of Haiti, a lot of people don't even know that, even travel to Haiti, don't even know that it exists.
How did you come across LaGonave, and how did this become near and dear to you?
Well, a couple ways. I began, my first trip to Haiti was in 2002, and then we began working on this little island. The pastor of the church I was attending at the time got connected there, and so we began to do some mission trips there. And really, just like anything, you just get caught up in it, and you get caught up in the wonderful people that live there. It's an island that's remote, and so they have some really difficult issues, which are, access to health care, access to food, access to water. And so we began working there. And probably the culminating event is we were actually on the island during the earthquake of 2010.
Oh, wow.
And so while we certainly were not part of Port-au-Prince where they had all the big buildings falling, we were definitely part of the earthquake and definitely felt it, and it made a very interesting time getting home. The following year, in 2011, I went back to Haiti by myself. And I interviewed some village leaders, some pastors, and I came home with this really strong conviction that we just had to do something. And so we began a small nonprofit. It's called LaGonave Alive, and we began small. And it's, as people have been grown with us, and God has blessed us, we have been able to grow that organization to help in three specific areas. The first one is education and school scholarships. The second one is in health care. And the third area is specific programming for women, children, and the elderly.
And all three of those areas are wonderful areas, and it sounds like a great mission that you have. And how do you come up with the funds to do that?
Well, we've been really blessed to have several churches around South Dakota that have been very supportive, and also individual people who have been very supportive. Like I tell people, we've just grown as God has blessed us, and we just continue to grow. When we don't try to expand until we have funds or a donor to take on an area. So in school scholarships, we sponsored about 28 children this year. We did a back-to-school program that provided uniforms for about 115 children so they could attend school. And we also provided school supplies for 2,000 children this year, pens, pencils, notebooks for 2,000 children. So this was the first year we've expanded into that. In healthcare, our biggest project is we have a young man who's finishing medical school in the Dominican Republic. Kind of a long story, but he was with us during the earthquake. His medical school collapsed, and so we made arrangements for him to go to the Dominican Republic. Here, imagine starting medical school and he had to learn Spanish to begin medical school.
Oh, wow.
So he's finishing up there. We'll go back to the island of LaGonave after some residency time to go back and serve the people. And we've also trained some nurses and provide what we call mobile clinics, we go to provide medical care and health care in very small villages. The last area, we provide some microfinancing for women. We know that women are the key to families. We provide some funds for orphanages. We did a Haiti Children Christmas. We started 5 years ago, which was to provide a meal and a small toy for children on Christmas. This Christmas, we had over 1,100 children in 3 villages. It's just blown up. And then elderly, we found out, that I found out in my 2011 visit, if you don't work, you don't eat. And so the elderly have a very difficult time there. They lived off the kindness of others. And so we've begun an elderly feeding program. This year we were blessed to begin connected to Kids Against Hunger, Mercy Meals, and Orphan Grain Train, and they're shipping packed meals to Haiti for us. And we're using those to feed the elderly. Again,
visiting with Bruce Blumer, and he's with LaGonave Alive. Did I say that right that time?
You did. You nailed it. You got it.
I'm going to be a pro by the time we're done. LaGonaveAlive.com is the website that you can go to learn more. And now, if I would be interested in purchasing the book Parsonage Parables, I see that I can get that in the bookstore at USF. I can also buy that on the website, LaGonave Alive. Is that correct?
You can. We have our bookstore is called Cougar Central. If you're in the University of Sioux Falls, if you're in the Sioux Falls area, you can also send me an email. It's contact@LaGonaveAlive.com. And again, LaGonave is LaGonave, LaGonave. And you can go to our website, which is LaGonaveAlive.com, and you can click on PayPal there and send us a message to send a book. We're suggesting a donation of $15. And all the funds that are used for the production, or all the funds that we receive from the book, will be going to help ministries there. In fact, we've already paid for the book costs, and we already have $1,000 in the bank because people have been very generous. And so every dime that you send for the books, your donation will go directly to assist the ministries that we just talked about.
Well, Bruce, thank you so much for doing what you're doing. It sounds like such a great thing. And before reading this info that I got to connect with you, I got to tell you, I had never heard of LaGonave, never heard of it before. And now I at least know how to say it. So I'm getting a little closer here. But LaGonaveAlive.com is the website. And folks, we can jump on there and take a look and learn a little more about the ministry. And if you're interested in supporting it, you can do that as well. And the book is also available. And let's spell that website one more time, LaGonaveAlive.com. How do you spell that?
Sure, LaGonaveAlive.com. alive.com. And the book Parsonage Parables I have a weekly blog that's called ParsonageParables.com. And I write a weekly blog about my life and about, struggles and lots of different things. And it kind of came to me that the idea to publish sort of the greatest hits or the best parts of the blog into a book and just use that to fund the ministries that we've been involved in. And so it's really just an avenue for people to get connected to Haiti and get connected to our nonprofit LaGonave. And if you have any interest or any questions in that, we're just really grateful for your time, but also grateful to answer any questions anybody has about Haiti or the nonprofit or what we're doing.
Well, again, thank you so much for doing what you're doing, and we appreciate your time to chat with us here today.
Hey, I appreciate your time. Thank you very much.
And again, our guest today has been Bruce Blumer, and I'm going to give you that website one more time, LaGonaveAlive.com, LaGonaveAlive.com. And I'm going to make it even easier for those of you that want to go and just maybe click a link. I'll throw a link on our Facebook page to make it really simple for you. So Facebook.com/John and Heidi Show. We'll have it on there. Thank you again for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Thursday.
This portion of the program is brought to you by CarsForSale.com. If you're in the market to buy a car, truck, or van, find thousands of vehicles to choose from at CarsForSale.com.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
According to Pendulum.com, 44% of people reuse tinfoil. Are you one of them?
No.
You've never reused tinfoil?
No, I don't
Ever?
reuse tinfoil.
Well, I think you
I have before, but it's not like on a regular basis. I don't reuse tinfoil.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that?
A student sued the University of Massachusetts for giving him a C, but his case was thrown out of court. So he got a C. He sued the student, sued the school, and the judge said, "No, this seems very average to me.
Yeah.
You're out of here."
Did he deserve the C?
Apparently.
Yeah.
Otherwise, he maybe would have won. Hey, fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Did you know, just like some people talk in their sleep, sign language speakers have been known to sign in their sleep as well?
Really? That's interesting.
It is very interesting. I had no clue, so now you know. A couple of fun facts for you on a Thursday edition of the John and Heidi Show.
This portion of the program is brought to you by StoneGroupArchitects.com. It's more than a building. It's design and function working together. Check out the project portfolio at StoneGroupArchitects.com.
Thank you so much for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Thursday. If you're planning on interviewing for a new job this year, practice your handshake. Have you met somebody where you've shook their hand and you're like, come
I do not
on.
like that at all.
Like the little weak little dead fish handshake?
I don't like that. And I
squirmy handshake.
It's bad when it's a man, but it's really bad when it's a woman. A woman should be able. I mean, I've never really shaken very many men's hands where their handshake is weak, but women all the time. Ladies, learn how to shake a hand.
A firm, solid handshake is an important part of a successful job interview, according to the University of Iowa business professor Greg Stewart. It says your handshake is a trigger that sets off an interviewer's overall impression of you. Did you know that? Mm-hmm. In the study, students who scored high with handshake raters were also considered to be the most hireable when they were talking about interviewing people. Generally, students who scored high on the handshake were also seen as having being more extroverted personalities. So I think I had it right the first time, having more extroverted personalities. They scored better with the interviews because of greater ease with small talk, eye contact, and other social skills. But those whose handshakes were weak and wimpy generally seemed to have less gregarious personalities and were less impressive to interviewers as well. The first study to quantify the importance of a good handshake in the job interview process is this one right here. Nobody's ever done that before.
I have a good firm handshake.
Yeah.
And all the time I have to shake a woman's hand. Almost every time I end up crushing their hands.
You don't want to be a bone crusher.
No, I'm not a bone crusher, but when theirs is just barely sitting there and you go to give them a firm handshake.
Come here and shake my hand. I want to see what yours is like. That's a good handshake right there.
Yeah, that's a good handshake
I'd hire
you've
you.
got. Well, thank you.
I should marry you, actually. Oh, wait, we are married. Is that the first time we've ever shook hands?
I think so.
It's kind of weird. Do that again. Hubba.
Well, now you grabbed my hand weird, so I couldn't.
What in the world?
I don't know. This makes awesome radio.
Why did it take so many years for us to get around to doing a handshake? You'd think that would come somewhere.
Shake hands?
I don't know. You'd think that would come somewhere between snuggling and kissing or something. On the basis. What base is handshaking? It's not first base?
I don't believe that's a base.
We skipped a base. All right. Anyway, Greg Stewart from University of Iowa says, kids, if you want a good job, get a good handshake. Coming up, we've got the How Polite Are You quiz. That's on the way.
This portion of the program is brought to you by DirecTV, 1-800-259-7646. Also brought to you by RVWheelator.com. If you're buying an RV or selling an RV, check out RVWheelator.com and the Dollar Shave Club. Here's John and Heidi.
Heidi, do you think you're a polite person? There's a study.
It depends on the situation.
From a noted behavioralist. They've come up with a study that talks about if you're a polite person or not. Are you late for appointments? A, half the time. B, constantly. C, never. D, rarely. Your friends keep answering their cell phone at the movies. Do you A, whisper that she's a jerk, grab her cell phone and turn it off in the middle of a call, ignore her and focus on the movie, suggest she go outside and talk? Somebody pushes in front of you in line. Do you sarcastically tell them to take a hike?
Are you going to answer any of these? Or
B, shout for security. C, let them budge in. Or D, quietly say they need to get to the back of the line. So of these, and I'll read one more. Your voicemail is A, full of street slang. B, short and abrupt. C, apologetic, saying, I'm so sorry I'm not here. Please leave a number. And D, friendly and promises a return call as soon as possible. Would you say you had mostly A's?
I'm mostly D's.
Mostly D's, okay. Mostly A's. Your attitude is adding to the level of uncivil behavior, and it's time to clean up your act. B, your furious reaction to the rudeness of others makes you just as bad. Get a grip, man. You said you're mostly D's?
Yeah.
Number C is you're so polite, you're a doormat. You can be gracious while standing up for your rights. Come on. And then D, you strike just the right chord of being courteous to others without being overly courteous.
Well, then there you go.
So it's if you're like Heidi, if you got mostly D's, I got mostly D's in school. Does that mean anything? No? If you got mostly D's on this test, that means you are above average. Coming up, we've got the other white meat. Maybe we shouldn't say that, but it's on the way.
This portion of the program is brought to you by GunUp.com. If you're a gun lover, you'll be in heaven at GunUp.com. Built by experienced military veterans, shooting sports competitors, and publishing professionals. They have awesome stories and articles that are read by millions of gun enthusiasts. Check it out at GunUp.com.
In the story headline here, it says the other white meat. Now, what is the other white meat? That's pork, right? Pork, the other white meat.
Yes.
Is that what it was?
Yes.
That's from like the 80s, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's from a long time ago. Anyway, it says Ukrainians are going crazy over the latest craze in confectionery foods. It's a bar of pure pork fat covered in chocolate.
Ew.
Yeah.
Ew.
The other white meat. A finger-sized stick of dark chocolate bar includes a vein of white fat. Most candies would have butterscotch or caramel or other sweet treats in the middle. This one is called fat in chocolate. Oddly enough, the bars were intended to be a joke.
It's called fat in chocolate.
The candies are called fat in chocolate. It was supposed to be a joke. The product pokes fun at the traditional Ukrainian snack of salo, saturated pork fat. A spokesperson for the confectionery company says the fat in chocolate bars are being made as a lighthearted, self-depreciating joke for Ukrainians. While they're edible, they're not really meant to be eaten, according to the official.
Wow.
But people are eating them, and some people are liking them. So for those of you who made a New Year's resolution to gain a whole lot of weight, maybe you get some of those things. Chocolate filled with fat. I'm pretty sure that would do the trick. Coming up, we've got an excellent story we're going to share that is on the way on the John and Heidi Show.
This portion of the program is brought to you by Dollar Shave Club. You can get razors sent to your door each month for just $1, plus a couple of bucks shipping. It's an amazing deal. Log on to dollarshaveclub.com/radio to learn more. That's dollarshaveclub.com/radio. Now, back to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
All right, this is going to be an interesting story because I don't know if you and I agree on this. How do you crack an egg, Heidi? What is the best way for you to crack an egg?
On the side of a bowl and
Wrong.
then pull it in half.
No. You do it right on a flat surface. You drop it on a flat surface and open it. Now, let's see.
Why am I wrong?
Because I'm right. So if I'm right, that means you have to be wrong. But a team of scientists have worked up the best way to crack an egg. After hundreds of experiments, the Glasgow University research team says cooks should use a medium-sized, free-range, or barn egg and slice it with a slim, flat, blunt-edged knife with a very heavy handle before gently pulling it apart. So you're supposed to use a knife, like the back of a knife, to crack it.
Ah.
So you hold it in your hand, crack it with a knife. That's what they say. I think they're wrong. The scientists' objective was to see how chefs could prevent eggshells from getting into whatever it is they're cooking. They carried out various tests on eggs of all shapes and sizes. They used numerous types of knives and kitchen gadgets. The team also discovered that they wasted a whole lot of time. No, that's not what they discovered. They discovered that using a dentist drill was the best, if not the most convenient way of cracking eggs. So
Stupid.
if you happen to have a dentist drill handy in your kitchen, use that. They say that's the very best. And I think what you do there is you drill a hole and then you drill another hole and you like blow it out the hole. Is that right? I think
Sure.
that's what they do. Let me try that again. Drill a hole, drill another hole, and then blow it out the end. Does that transfer to the radio at all or no?
Not really.
Not so much. But the way I do it is the way Martha Stewart taught me. And who would know more about this than Martha Stewart? I mean, nobody. Nobody in the world knows more about eggs than Martha Stewart. Okay, maybe somebody. But she says to hold the egg in your hand. There's no knife involved. You drop it gently. You hold it just a little bit above the counter. Drop it gently, and it cracks. But it's not like busted cracked. It cracks nicely. Then you hold it over the pan and pull it apart. That's the way I do it, and it works really well. These guys, there's a knife involved, and, who wants to mess with that? Coming up, we've got some good news. It's on the way.
This portion of the program is brought to you by DirecTV. Call 1-800-259-7646. They have hundreds of channels to choose from, with many packages to fit your viewing desires. Learn more at 1-800-259-7646.
Thank you so much for listening to the John and Heidi Show. We always try to wrap things up around here with some good news, and typically we have some good news, right?
Yeah, always.
It's usually pretty good.
Yeah.
And I think this is good news as well. This is a neat story. Free cash might be the last thing you would expect to receive from somebody standing on the side of the road with a cardboard sign. But that is exactly what smiling strangers got from a mystery man at an intersection in Parker, Colorado last Monday. Did you hear about this?
No.
ABC News says the man identified himself as Carl Ramsey to strangers. He gave out cash, but he told the ABC affiliate there that Carl Ramsey was not his real name. It was actually a late friend from high school who passed away decades ago when he was killed in a farming accident. He just said, "I'm not Carl Ramsey, but today I represent his spirit." And he was handing out money to people on the streets of Parker, Colorado.
Well, isn't that nice?
That is very cool. So I'm not exactly sure. I'd like to do a little research on that and see a little more about who this Carl Ramsey was. Sounds like he must have been a nice guy.
Yeah.
If that represented his spirit. But it's really nice that, this guy, a high school friend whose friend passed away years ago, is still remembering him and still doing nice things all these years later. That is really, really neat. So, there you go. I was thinking I was going to say something, but I don't remember what it was. I had something.
I was quiet because I could tell you were getting ready to speak. So I was like, okay, what's he gonna?
Well, I had something
say?
on my mind, but I'm going to just. I've got if you want to check out this story, I'll throw it on our Facebook page, facebook.com/John and Heidi Show. You can check it out there. And I think with that, it's time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great day. Thank you so much for listening to the John and Heidi Show. And here's something I want to say. If you ever get a chance to tune in and listen to the interviews that I do here, I've got a really cool one coming up this Friday from Nat Geo Wild. The incredible Dr. Paul is going to be joining me on Friday. So if you get a chance, tune in for that as well. Coming up on the Friday edition of the John and Heidi Show.
Time now for the bonus break, only available here on the John and Heidi Show podcast.
And your bonus break is brought to you by the Dollar Shave Club. Heidi, I get to brag up these guys a little bit right now. This is something that I thought was really cool. I snagged the image here. I'll throw it on our Facebook page, too.
Yeah, you shared this. You told me about this earlier today.
I thought this was really cool.
Very cool.
This was shared by somebody else, but I snagged an image and I wanted to share it on our page. It says, "I just got a package from the Dollar Shave Club. I emailed them to see if we could buy a pack of razors for some troops in Afghanistan that are on a FOB that's losing its PX/BX store." Now, I don't know what any of that stuff means. They told me they would not sell them to me because they wanted to donate them instead. Today, we received 73 4-packs of their 3-blade razors with handles and shave butter, as well as 60 extra shave butters. In addition, they sent 160 individual body wipes along with a handwritten letter from the CEO of Dollar Shave Club to the troops. How cool is that?
That is very cool. That's
and it
so
says,
cool.
"Please like and share so this awesome company knows how much their donation is appreciated. #Dollar Shave Club." I'm telling you what, that is a really cool thing for them to do. And I've been a fan of this company from like the first time I saw the video. And then I said, this guy seems like he's fun. and I ordered my razors. And then as soon as I got the razors, I went from liking the company to loving the company. They're great razors. It's a great deal. It's a great price. If you're interested in being a part of something awesome, check them out. DollarShaveClub.com/radio. Keep up the good work there, guys. Now, your bonus break somewhere here. Oh, hey, here it is. How about this one here? Top 5 signs you're eating genetically modified food. You love these top 5 things, don't you?
Oh, yes.
These are her favorites.
Yes, I do.
Top 5 signs you're eating genetically modified food. Number 5, your Spam now has a 5-digit expiration date. Number 4, family of 7, 1 turkey, and everybody gets a drumstick.
That one's actually cute.
Top 5 signs you're eating genetically modified food. Number 3, you use the leftover chicken as a nightlight for your kid's room.
Oh, wow.
That's not good. Number 2, flawlessly schooled in etiquette Joe was more fun than sloppy Joe. Okay. And what was that? I guess that was flawlessly schooled in etiquette Joe. Okay, I see. Instead of sloppy Joe. I get you. And the top sign that you're eating genetically modified food, a SWAT team is ordering the chalupa to drop you.
What?
So it must be one big chalupa if it's holding you.
Huh.
Instead of drop the chalupa, they're telling the chalupa to drop you. Should we quit reading those?
I believe I've been saying that for quite a while.
I have given them so many chances. Is it just my delivery? Do you think that's what it is? Is it
I
me?
don't know.
Is there something lost in translation, or are these just bad to the bone? Hey, an Arizona man is waiting to fly home to propose to his girlfriend, but he was forced to propose through text message. Yeah. After spending 50 hours stranded at a Chicago O'Hare International Airport, ABC News says Dan Rodriguez of Phoenix had the diamond engagement ring in his back pocket, but the delay got in the way of his proposal that he had planned. Finally, he texted her, "Marry me," with a photo of the diamond ring and him holding it. His now fiance, identified in the text messages Heather, replied, "Yes, I'm bawling my eyes out right now."
Huh.
Would you do that? Or would you just wait till you got there?
Why not just wait till you get there?
Yeah.
You got the ring.
I understand you've been sitting in an airport for 50 hours, but...
50 hours?
He was. He spent 50 hours. That's over 4 days.
That's a
long time to hang out. 48 hours. No, wait, that's 2 days.
Yeah, it's not.
So it's over 2 days. I don't know.
Where'd you go to school?
I went to school in here. My math teacher didn't like me. So anyway, yeah, that's over 2 solid days waiting at the airport. Didn't sound like it went all that hot, though. So
it's not over 2 days.
Yeah, it is. Two
over 2 days. 48 hours.
48 hours would be 2 days. This was 50
you're right.
hours. Where did you go to school?
Storm
Lake, Iowa. Let's just make every teacher mad at us. Hey, speaking of school, a school cafeteria worker in Idaho says she was fired after giving a hungry middle school student a free lunch. There we go.
Oh.
According to NBC, Daylene Bowden, a server at Irving Middle School in Idaho, gave a hot meal to a 12-year-old girl that had no lunch money. She said she was hungry. Bowden offered to pay the $1.70 cost of the lunch.
Oh, good Lord.
Instead, Bowden said her supervisor placed her on leave, and on Monday she received a registered letter from the school district informing her she had been officially fired.
That is awful.
For theft of school property. What do you think of that?
That's awful.
You think maybe she should have been fired, or you think maybe that was wrong for her to do that, or you think that was a good idea for her to do that? She offered to pay
the $1.70. She was
going to
pay it. That's ridiculous.
They said, no, you don't need to do that. And then they said, no, you're fired because you stole it.
Man.
What in the heck is wrong with people?
This country is a mess.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's see. Toledo, Ohio. Police said Christopher Kurtz entered a sunset carryout in Toledo, Ohio, and asked clerk Megan Omnichek for 2 $20 bills. A nervous Omnichek handed him one $20 bill, and then he grabbed 3 $10 bills, 50 from the cash register. Kurtz counted the money before he left. He said, I only wanted 40. He gave her back 10. He was later caught on charges of robbery. He robbed the place. He wanted $40. She accidentally gave him 50. He came back and gave her 10 back.
Huh.
What kind of robber is that?
Yeah.
So
why would he be robbing for just that specific
I don't
amount?
understand.
That's bizarre.
Sunset Carryout, Toledo, Ohio. That's where it was.
Huh.
So, yeah, he wanted $40.
Must have needed it for something.
Apparently. He had a specific use for it, and 50 was just way too much. All right, one last thing. This is kind of an interesting story, that something that I didn't know, and I thought, anytime I learn something, I want to share with all my friends. So only you awesome people who listen to the bonus break get this. People who gave up on this show way back when it sucked, like 20 minutes ago, and 15 minutes ago, and 10 minutes ago, and then again 5 minutes ago, and still right now. Those people, they're not going to get this. But did you know that Cinderella didn't really wear glass slippers? In the story, the original story, it sounds uncomfortable, doesn't it? Glass slippers?
Oh, absolutely.
So she'd probably wear sneakers or something, right? Cinderella is one of our most beloved stories. Who can forget the mistreated girl who ends up with the prince and the glass slipper? Well, here's the truth. There was no glass slipper. This error came about because the most well-known version of the old legend, one from Mother Goose, contained a mistranslation. The fellow who got it from the old French book mistook a specific phrase, pantalones en verre, which means slippers lined with squirrel fur, but he accidentally put it pantalones en verre, which translated slippers of glass. So these were actually squirrel fur slippers.
Awesome.
Yeah. Not only did she believe that she was fairy godmother, has got her some awesome squirrel boots, but that also explains why the sisters picked on her so much. She's walking around wearing squirrel boots. So I think the story's better with glass slippers.
I kind of like the glass slippers better as well.
I'm trying to find somebody that fits into my white squirrel foot boot here. Yeah, I don't care if you're a prince. My foot's not going in that thing. So I think the glass slipper's better. But there you go. Now you know. That's going to do it for your bonus break. Brought to you by the Dollar Shave Club. Learn more on their site, dollarshaveclub.com/radio.